Well, I'm a native of Ashford, Alabama. I grew up in an extended family of my grandmother, grandfather, my aunts and uncles, and my cousin. Um, our summers were in the farm, in the field, picking tomatoes, um, cucumbers, peas, butter beans. That was my entire summer. We were a family of love. We were, like I said, it was an extended family, and those were the people that I was around my entire life. I was about the 6th or 7th grade, and I used to grab the newspaper every day and go and read the newspaper as if I was a news anchor. I would try to imitate Barbara Walters or Walter Cronkite. News was a big thing in our family. We watched it every day with my grandparents, and I don't know why I would do that, but I was just for fun, would imitate being a news reporter or a news anchor. Then in high school, I was selected by Lucille Smith to be a part of the Jacket Racket staff, which was the journalism club at Ashford High School. And I did that from 10th grade to 12th grade, so I guess that's when the bug actually hit me. In 1984, I was working at WVAS as a student reporter at Alabama State University. In college, back in the days of the 80s, the battery packs and the cameras, everything were extremely heavy. I only weighed about 92 pounds. And walking across ASU campus with that heavy equipment, I said, this is not for me. So I decided that radio would be a better suit for me, and that's when I chose radio. I interned here at Wolf FM in 1985. My counselor at the time was Mario Lightfoot, and he was the roommate of Agnes Simpson's son, Hart Dowling. And so he suggested that I intern here at Wolf, and so the summer of '85 I interned at Wolf. Then I came back to Dothan after living in New Jersey, DC area. I moved back to Dothan in '91. I became news director at WJJN. And then in '92, December of '92, I came back home to Wolf Radio, where I've been since that time. I have worked in other media besides radio. In 1995, I was given the opportunity to do a talk show at WDHN called Newswatch Extra. I was filling a contract of a young lady who was moving to Huntsville. So Ken Curtis asked me to fulfill that 3-month contract. I did, and that was my television stint. I've covered several high-profile stories. The first one was in 1993, I believe, was the hostage standoff in Enterprise. That was a big national story. I ended up covering that story for the BBC and other networks that called. That was a hostage standoff there that I think covered for about 2 days or 36 hours. It was a big story. Also, the boy in the bunker in Midland City. I covered that one. Also, a big story just happened not too long ago, the J.B. Beasley and Tracy Hollett story in 1999. Those were the 3 that stood out the most to me as the biggest stories of my career. Being interviewed on a national television news network was very exciting. Number one, knowing that you're going to be seen all over the world by everyone, and to remember a story that you covered 24 years ago was kind of nerve-wracking at the same time. It was a wonderful experience. I got to meet some great folks from New York that came down to do this interview. It was a long process trying to remember everything that took place in '99 during that J.B. Beasley, Tracy Hollett story. I first said I wouldn't do it again, but I think I would. There's one story that was very challenging in my career. It was in October of 1995, actually October 31st of 1995. I did a story out at Westside Terrace, and it was their fun day for their senior residents. And that day I spent the morning with my father. He worked there at the time. He was a supervisor for the cleaning staff there at Westside Terrace. Well, after spending the day with him, I came back to do news that afternoon. He gave me a call to thank me for being there, helping him out to get that story done and to get the coverage for Westside Terrace. Shortly after that, we received a scanner call that was in a bad accident on Highway 84 West. And doing what I do, I took off and headed out 84 West. Traffic was backed up for miles. I drove on the grass, and when I got to the scene, I happened to look over to the side and noticed it was my dad's truck. That was the most challenging story I've ever covered, to go to the scene of an accident, and it was my father. And I'll never forget it. The very first award I've won for my broadcasting career was in 1993 for Best Spot News of the hostage standoff in Enterprise. From there, many more awards from the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and just recently, in the last 5 years, several awards, including Best Anchor and Best Reporter for the Alabama Broadcasters Association. I was also awarded in 2019 Top 25 Women in Media from the Alabama Business Association. Winning the 2021 Alabama Broadcasters Hall of Fame Award was a surprise. I actually wrote a letter to the Alabama Broadcasters on behalf of our station owner at the time, Lee Simpson, and just knew that she would be the one to win that award, not knowing that she had written a letter about me as well. So we were both inducted at the same time. So Lee was not only my station manager, but also a friend. And to be inducted with her at the same time was such a blessing and an honor. Agnes Simpson, who's the owner of Wolf Radio, was the first woman to be inducted in the Alabama Broadcasters Hall of Fame. So to be inducted alongside Agnes Simpson, Lee Simpson, and myself, oh man, that's the highlight of my entire career, to be standing along two women in the broadcasting industry that have done so much for the state of Alabama. That's such an honor. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. Have faith in yourself and in God, and if it's the steps that He has ordered for you, it will take place. I believe in Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. And I know this was the plan of God for my life. Dreaming as a little girl, pretending to be a news anchor, reading the newspaper, to being in this office right here, being news director here at Wolf FM. It's a dream come true.